All right, and welcome back to the podcast slash YouTube channel. So, I'm finally able to get into Hereditary and Midsommar. I'm actually going to do this video and podcast is going to be Hereditary and Midsommar put together, just so I could potentially have a longer video, because I know I've been wanting to make those, and I'm sure you guys have been waiting on it. But today I'm going to talk about Hereditary first, and I don't even know where to begin. I have so high praise for this film. It's probably will always go down as one of my favorite horror films. Not only horror films, but films in general. This was Aster's first major motion film, and it was produced by A24, which is my favorite production studio. They come out with so many great movies, like The Witch, The Green Room, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Hereditary, and the list goes on and on and on. Mid-90s, the list goes on. If you guys aren't familiar with A24, which I'm sure you are, definitely check them out. They make nothing but great movies. I have yet to see it. Well, I guess there was one exception, Spring Breakers with James Franco and Selena Gomez, which is, oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk about that. That's like the one mark on their filmography is that movie right there. But anyways, Hereditary is not, and it is a great movie. Toni Collette gives a great performance. All the other cast gives a great performance. The story is riveting. The cinematography is great. I can go on absolutely all day and talk about it. So, in essence, the film showcases the grief. It follows the grief and the pain that a family goes through after the death of their matriarch, their mother, who they soon find out doesn't really have a life that they thought that she lived. She is actually just, and this is going to be filled with spoilers. I'm spoiling the whole movie because it's been out for a while and I want to talk about it. Who eventually they find out is a cult leader. She is a queen, not only a cult leader, but she is the queen of hell, one of the queens of hell. And to be honest, I don't really know how Aster got his hands on A24 and was able to get the rights and all the notoriety that he got, because as far as I'm concerned, he only made those short films on YouTube that I've already covered on my YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, same name as here, Bad Film Critic, no spaces. But he really didn't get much notoriety. Those videos, not a lot of people know about them. So I don't really know how he got to pull all these strings with that, but nonetheless he did. It was showcased at Sundance Film Festival. It got acclaim from Robert Eggers, a bunch of other great filmmakers, and it got instant Oscar praise from Toni Collette, which, by the way, she completely got snubbed from the Academy doesn't really like horror, and I think that's just like clear. Everybody knows that. But Toni Collette, 120%. Deserved an Oscar for this performance. It was one of the greatest performances I've seen in a while, probably of all time, especially horror. Probably the greatest horror performance I've ever seen, and she's led by a female cast, not a female cast, but a female character. I can't give her enough praise. This film alone probably puts her in one of my favorite actors of all time, up there with Gyllenhaal and Phoenix and Tom Hanks and De Niro and Scarlett Johansson. It definitely puts her up there with those guys. So the film is definitely carried by Toni Collette, but just as he deserves as much praise as Alex Wolff, and he plays the son of the family. He does a great job. I've seen him in some other things like My Friend Dahmer. I've seen him on some like commercials and some other short films that he was kind of a secondary character. And I don't know if he made My Friend Dahmer before or after Hereditary. I'm assuming it was before. I'd have to look at the dates, but I don't know. But he does a great job. He deserves just as much praise as Toni Collette. And this movie, let me get more into the film itself. Not only is a film just perfect, this is one of the rare films that I give a 10 out of a 10. There's not many films that I do that with. The most I'll probably give a film is 9.5, but this one is one of the rare ones that I give a 10 out of 10. It never drags. It's super intriguing. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. Him, along with Robert Eggers, Jordan Peele, and Ari Aster, are the reincarnation of modern horror. They are single-handedly revitalizing the horror genre, and I absolutely love all of their films. The Witch from Robert Eggers, Get Out by Jordan Peele, Hereditary from Ari Aster is great. This film contains some of the most powerful cinematography I've ever seen. Kind of like the scene where the brother and the daughter go to a party together, and she gets an allergic reaction to nuts or something that's in the brownies, and he tries to save her by driving home real quick, and there's a deer in the road, which we find out that it was put there by the cult, and he swerves into the road, and she gets decapitated by a phone pole. And he just, after he realizes what he did, he just stands there and the camera focuses on him, and he just isn't crying. He's just, tears are rolling down his face. He's not in hysterics at all, and it just sits with you in a different way. It's terrifying. That's what I love about this film, is it really focuses on the psychological grief and terror and horror that a family would feel going through something like this. It doesn't rely on jump scares. It doesn't rely on quick, cool cuts or crazy characters and crazy makeup and effects. It is just pure story, acting, and passion that goes into this film. Ari Aster, I could go on all day about this. It is so perfect. And I'm gonna put a huge disclaimer on it. I've watched this movie probably about 5 times because it's not necessarily an easy watch. It's a beautiful watch, an intriguing watch, but not necessarily an easy one, because I've seen it 5 times and I still really don't know what the hell's going on. And Midsommar is even more like that. I don't know what, I'll get into that later, but Hereditary, I still really don't even know what's going on. I know it follows a cult leader, and there's a king of hell called Payman, and essentially the premise of the film is he's trying to find a male host, and they try to do that through the daughter. Didn't work because she was a female. They try to do it through the mother. Didn't work. They try to do it through the father, and he isn't blood, aka hereditary, so it doesn't work. And eventually they found a successful host who was the son, played by Alex Wolff. And yeah, he eventually dies, but he comes reincarnated as Payman, and that's the end of the movie. But this movie is it's filled with such deep symbolism. After you watch it, if you guys haven't seen it yet, you'll be absolutely mind-fucked. And you're going to have to wait like 2 weeks until you watch it again. And then you're going to watch it again after that and again after that. And every single little bit of sense will start to piece together. And you'll see these little bits of symbolism and foreshadowing that you didn't see before. It is amazing. I absolutely love this film. It's a 10 out of 10 from Ari Aster. And I could go on all day about it. So that serves into a perfect way to segue into Midsommar, which was his second big major motion picture film. I think it came out the summer of 2 years ago, I want to say. 2 summers ago, and me and my girlfriend were I was so excited to see this movie. Absolutely excited. Hereditary single-handedly put him in one of my filmmakers. If it wasn't for Hereditary, I wouldn't have even cared to look up his prior work, which led me to find his short films on YouTube, which are great. But that without these movies, it wouldn't have even happened. But to say the least, Midsommar, it's definitely his most out there film. It's obscene. I don't even know how the MPA made this available in theaters. It is nuts. It is absolutely nuts. And I'm not even really the biggest fan of it just because of how far out there it is. But objectively speaking, it is a great film. It really, what really intrigues me is just like Hereditary, it doesn't rely on jump scares. It doesn't rely on crazy characters and blood and guts and gore and crazy jump effects. Matter of fact, it relies on the exact opposite. It relies on it's like a breakup film. So grief in the same sense, but in a different way. And this movie is entirely in daylight. And these friends, boyfriend and girlfriend, who the boyfriend wants to break up with her and the girlfriend doesn't. And she's going through hard times. They go to a trip on Sweden with a friend of theirs, and it turns into this huge cult bullshit that they go through. It is absolutely nuts, and I'm not even going to try to talk about it. I'm not even going to try to tackle it because it is absolutely insane. And if you've seen it, I'm sure that you have. I feel the same way because I have seen that movie 3 times now, and I still don't know what the hell's going on. I have zero clue. I've watched Everything Explained. I've watched videos over it trying to explain it, and it just doesn't sit right with me. It's not a bad film. It's great acting. It's aesthetically stunning. It's visually pleasing, and I do like it in that sense, and the acting is great. The storyline is just it's just like, what the hell is going on? And I can't follow it to save my life. But that will basically wrap up my overview of Ari Aster. I've reviewed every one of his films now. I don't know what I'm going to do next. And like you guys know, I'm busy with school and everything. And this corona, somebody actually has a positive case on campus, so I don't know what's going to happen next. If I get sent home, that'll probably work in my favor with YouTube, but won't work in my favor with college. So you guys might be seeing more videos, might be seeing less, but I promise I'm going to try my hardest. I just don't know what my next topic is going to be. All I know is that I love making videos and talking about film, so the videos will definitely keep coming. My next video is I've kept a log of all the films that I've watched in August. I've watched some old ones, and I've definitely watched some new ones, like The Tax Collector, the movie with Shia LaBeouf, which, spoiler alert, it was dog shit. So I'm going to be doing over that, and it's going to be like a quick review over all of them put together. I'm going to put it in one video, one episode of a podcast. But that'll wrap up my overview of Ari Aster, who is probably my favorite director. He's up there with Tarantino and Scorsese, in my opinion. He's definitely my favorite horror director. Second to, Robert Eggers comes second, and then probably Jordan Peele. But anyways, that'll wrap it up, and I will be coming with a video as soon as I can. See ya.